Hi, I am here with my blue pencil. Now, I assume you followed the instructions from Helen Sullivan on how to piece it and put it together to this point. So, what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to go about um, quilting it. So, here we go. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this around so you can see better. Okay. And then I'm going to leave it in this direction. Okay, so the first thing I've got is I've gone ahead, I drew my lines up here, but you will have fabric here that's going to be coming out. I don't, because I'm going to be sending this along to Sew Steady, and Mindy is going to be putting it all together, all the pieces for us. So I'm using my spinning wave ruler, number 6. I've put a tack in the tip of my pencil, and I am going to put my foot down, and I'm going to start by lining up the bottom of the wood portion with the bottom of my ruler. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to come out just a little bit. There we go. Pull my bobbin thread up. I have kind of a mottled brown thread on the top, and I have a dark blue on the bottom because the back of my quilt block is dark blue. Goes along with my blue pencil. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to stitch down, taking my one stitch in place. There we go. Now we're going to come down, meet the top of the pencil. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that thread there. There we go. Now where we meet, I'm going to come over about a 1/2 of an inch. I'm going to need to adjust my foot just a little bit because it's a little thicker in here. And we're going to stitch in the ditch. And what's going to happen now, all things being equal, we should be able to put our ruler on an angle, and what should happen is if we've gone a 1/2 of an inch, our 1/4 of an inch line is going to end up where we just finished stitching. And trust me, I'm not that accurate all the time, just eyeballing things. So now we're going to come back up. And I'm just going to stitch over a little bit, stitching in the ditch there. And again, I'm going to line up where my ruler hits a 1/4 of an inch and down to the bottom. Eyeball that 1/2 an inch again. Oh my goodness. I am on a roll tonight, aren't I? I've got it perfect. Don't ask me how. It doesn't normally happen that way. Up we come. Again, stitching in the ditch just a little bit. Oh, perfect. Actually can come back about a 1/2 a stitch. There we go. All the way down. Oh, I am loving this. This is so cute, you guys. Honestly, I love it. Come over about a 1/2 an inch. Let's see. Well, I could have done a little, well, okay. I got it right on that time again. And back up we're gonna come. Stitch in the ditch over just a hair. There we go. Perfect. Take your time. Don't try and rush things. I always find I do my best work when I'm not trying to get through anything quickly. I just take my time, enjoy the process, and I need to come over about another stitch here. Yeah, make that two. There we go. Okay, back up to the top. Okay, we're going to stitch over and perfect. We've only got one or two more rows or one or two more stitch lines to go, and then we will have this portion of our block finished, and we can go on to the other portion, which I have decided that I am going to stitch snowflakes. Blue being a cool color, I thought snowflakes with our new Benefax snowflakes number 9 and number 10 would be a perfect choice. So here we go. We're going to come back up to the top. Beautiful. I'm going to stitch in the dip right off here. Take a couple stitches in place. That's going to be buried. And there it is. Isn't that adorable, you guys? I love this. I absolutely love it. I really think I'm going to end up making the whole quilt. Since I'm a colored pencil artist as well as a quilter, it's perfect for me. So we'll be back and show you the rest of how we're going to quilt this blue colored pencil. Okay, we're back. Now that we've got the wood part of our pencil done, we're going to start working on the pencil itself. And the first design we're going to do is with our Spinifex Snowflake 10. And I am going to use this side of it, which is the Mini Spinifex 11. And I have put a mark right here on the 3-inch mark. We're going to make this kind of small. I'm going to make an 8-point crosshair. Now, I'm going over some light fabric, some dark fabric. So I'm going to need to use two different marking devices here. I'm going to go ahead and use the dark one on the light fabric. And again, 8 points. And right in there and along here. Now remember, we are going to need to come in and mark this dark fabric as well. So what I don't want to do at this point is I don't want to move my crosshair ruler. I'm going to come in now with my chalk liner and my Ultimate Pounce powder, and I'm going to finish up this marking, and there we go. We've got it marked. I'm going to go ahead and draw my crosshairs in here. Well, excuse me, for some reason, my cover came flying off. Didn't want my dog to get it. So here we go. I'm just going to use the side of my crosshair ruler. I'm going to go ahead and pull these two together. And there we go. Beautiful. So I am going to change my thread and be right back. Okay, we're back, and I am going to go ahead and pull my thread up. Pull us in just a hair here. I'm going to pull my thread up in the center of the crosshair and maybe adjust us just a little bit. There we go. I'm losing the wide foot in my camera there, so it's just taking me a second to get accustomed to it. I love our new foot for the slant foot machines. Mine is a Singer 301. And the new feet are just awesome. Okay, there we go. Going to go ahead and put my needle down. Check to make sure that you're seeing me okay. And we're going to go ahead and make the design. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to line up myself with the arrow pointing right towards center. And I'm going to start right at that point and stop at that point. Okay, so here we go. Take my one stitch in place. And up and around we're gonna go. Absolutely love our new snowflake templates. Love using them. And back to center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my template around, and I'm going to go on the opposite side. Again, lining up right with that arrow that I've put in on here so that I keep myself lined up perfectly. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to snip off that thread from the center. The reason I can do that is because we are going to have many different passes of thread going over the top of that center. So that thread is definitely going to be very secure for us. I'm using white thread, which isn't going to show a whole lot on the light color fabric, but it's going to show beautiful on this dark colored fabric. Okay, going off to the other side, lining myself up. I'm going to make another rotation. Take that one stitch at the top. I call it my hesitation stitch. Come back to the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this around again. Normally I wouldn't do this much turning, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So I am turning it often for you. Line myself up again. And another rotation. Now you'll notice I go across and across and across. And the reason I like to do that is because it will draw the fabric in evenly all the way around. And back to center. Just going to make a little bit of a turn here. And line it up again. Okay, oops, I need to go up that way. I already stitched that one. It's hard to see with the white thread on the light colored fabric. Around we're gonna go, hesitation stitch, and back to center. I'm going to go ahead and twist it up. Now this time I'm not going to turn it. And the reason I'm not going to turn it is I want you to see how you can stitch this whole design without actually turning your fabric. And sometimes just makes it easier to do. And now we've got two more that we need to do, and we'll have all 8 rotations finished on here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the back side because I think it's going to be easier for you to see on the back side than it is actually on the front. Although you can easily see on the dark fabric where the white thread has sewn up. And again, I'm not going to turn this time. I'm just going to turn my template. And we're going to go ahead and stitch that final rotation. And what you'll see is it's really very easy to line up this line between, or in this channel here, between the two sides, so that you get a really nice looking motif when you're done. Hesitation stitch at the top and back down to center, and I'm going to take some micro stitches coming into the center. We'll go ahead and draw that thread up, which is easy to do because it's kind of pulling up from the bottom anyway, so I don't have to go in and pull it up. And there it is. And there's our first motif. And here it is from the back. Beautiful, isn't it? And we're just going to keep doing different snowflakes all over this pencil. So this is snowflake number 1. And we're going to go ahead and get the marks ironed off. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do snowflake number 2. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay, we are back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the next snowflake over in this area here. The only difference is that I am going to have it actually come right off of the pencil itself. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a crosshair in here to start with. I think I'm going to. There we go. And again, using 2 colors because I have a dark and a light area. And you'll notice the other thing is I don't put it straight on. I kind of put some at an angle, some straight on, kind of just all over the place. Because snowflakes don't fall necessarily in straight lines, do they? Okay, here we go. Now I'll put that in there and we'll go ahead and make sure we're lined up and come out. There we go. And we'll go up this way, come all the way up and come down on the dark colored. And I think I have got all of my lines in there. There we go. Okay. I love my smaller crosshair rulers. I have the mini ones as well. I think these work great for this process. Now, how I'm going to line this up this time is I'm going to line this up with my ruler channel here. And again, using white thread, I'm going to start in the center, pull my bobbin thread up, line myself up here so that I'm nice and even. And now this fabric is a little thicker right here, so I may need to have a little bit of adjustment on my foot, which is no problem. There we go. pull that bobbin thread up through to the top, foot back down. Yep, good. So, nice and perfectly. Needle back down, and here we go. Now, one of the things you're going to want to be careful of is when you're coming across here, and I will go ahead and stitch all the way across, but you don't want to get hooked on this fabric. There's a couple of things that you can do, obviously. If you have a real strong glue based on there, this is probably already stuck down. If you don't, what you can do is you can actually take some embroidery tape that you stitch through and then tear off and put it on there, and that will work as well. So here we go. And you'll notice right here we have a little bit of a lip because of the seam allowance. I just pick up my foot and it seems to work pretty much almost every time. Now, if you don't want to, you don't have to come all the way out. You can just scoot up like this because that part's not going to show and it's going to be in the seam allowance anyway. Then come back down. Take your time coming around this clip. That can be a little tricky if you try to rush through it. And come back to center. Needle down. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to twist our template and get the other side. I'm going to go ahead and lift my foot up at this point and cut this thread off. Remember, when we're doing spin effects, we're really building up enough thread in that center to be able to cut the threads off and know that and be secure in the fact that they will be buried. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line things up again. And again, we have a little bit of a lip here, but we can deal with that easily. Around, make those stitches just a little smaller. Now, going in this direction, this is no problem coming on to that next block because our seam allowance is in the direction that will help our foot just slide right off of it. Going in this direction, no problem either because we got a really nice flat seam allowance. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and twist it this way, twist the template. Make sure that we have our center lined up with that channel, which this channel is perfect for that. Okay, we're going to come in this direction this time. Just want to check and make sure you've got a good view. Now, if you wanted to really make this fancy, you could go ahead and put some metallic silver or metallic gold thread in here. And that would bring a lot of sparkle and shine to the quilting. There we go. And again, I'm just going to go to the other side. Line my template up. Again, we don't have to come all the way out here if we don't want to. And if you're actually doing it on the entire quilt top, you won't want to. You're going to want to come and stop at the seam allowance and just stitch in the ditch down and come back in. And there we go. Now you could do 4 rotations, you could do 8 rotations, you could do 16 rotations. I think it might be 16 rotations might be just a little much on a small space like this, however. But I love the secondary design of this snowflake stitches out. It is so much fun. Okay, so this last one, as you notice, is going to be really short. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to stitch this area. We're going to come around here and just stitch across and come back in. I only took one stitch to get from one side to the other on that because this is a very small design. And there we go. Back to the center. Make some micro stitches. Going to pull that bobbin thread up. And you'll see it came up by itself, just like it did last time. Well, I think it did. There it is. And we're just going to clip it off there. And we've got a nice secure dot in here. And there is our background. Now, as I said, this is going to be cut off. So this is going to look like a perfectly framed snowflake, even though on here right now it looks a little cattywampus. So let's go ahead and we're going to get the markings off this and we'll go to our next snowflake. We're back. Okay, now what I've done is I have pulled out my Spinifex snowflakes. And I have got the entire set here, and I am using the Spinifex Snowflake 6. I can hardly see under the stable tape. Yep, 6, number 6. It's got kind of a fun shape here. Now these come in 2 sizes. I've chosen the smaller size. What you'll notice is the one that comes down to here, you've got the line at 5.5 inches. I don't want to go that low. So what I did was I went ahead and I put my green arrow up here and I'm going to stop at that point. And I have my crosshair all ready to go. And I think we are all set. Again, this is going to be really easy to line up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this back just a little bit for you. There we go. And let's get some light on the subject. Awesome. And here we go. We're going to again start in the middle, pull our bobbin thread up. Oh, there we go. Had a hard time finding the center there. Looking over the top and pull that bobbin thread up. There we go. And I have a feeling that I may run out of bobbin thread here in the near future. So yes, I am playing bobbin roulette. Okay, one stitch in place. And then we're going to come up and around. I'm going to go ahead and again cut this thread off. Anytime we're working with spin effects. Come back to center. Needle down. And we're going to twist, going from side to side. And line that needle up with the arrow. This is one of the easier templates to work. It's a beautiful inside design. Nice and easy. And again, back to center. And we're going to go side to side. Okay, so here's our last rotation. This one goes very quickly. And I am loving it. I love all the different snowflakes. And let's go ahead and pull our bobbin thread up. There we go. And we have another snowflake. Let's take a look behind. And isn't that cute? I love it. Now, I do want to put some little things in this area here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out my template, my snowflake template number 9. I've got so many templates out here, I've got to be sure. And you see how it's got this nice little circle here? I'm going to go ahead and put a little circle in some of these areas that are what I call a little void of design. Is it necessary? Probably not, because my quilt batting allows me a rating to go that far out. But do I want to do it? Yes, because I love template quilting. Oh, and goodness, almost lost my bobbin thread there. Okay, so you see, I'm just going to put it here. It doesn't matter where I put it. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to line it up anywhere. With snowflakes, no two are the same and they fall randomly. And I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I really know snowflakes. So that's why I like to put these little guys in here kind of as just as a filler, so to speak. And actually right now it is snowing quite heavily outside. Okay, I'll take the snow any day though. Sadly, Monday we're supposed to get to 35 degrees below zero. I know. It's going to be very cold. Okay, now I went around once with rather small stitches. I think I'm going to go around this a second time just to make it stand out a little bit more. Make some micro stitches here. Go ahead and take it out. I'm going to cut off these first two threads because I have stitched over them. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull my bobbin thread up. There we go. And you'll see it's just a nice little addition. I'll just go ahead and randomly put these in around the design. Okay. And here you can see just a nice little addition here, and it just kind of fills up this area. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get ready for my next snowflake, and I will meet you back here. Okay, we're back. And what I'm showing you here is the Spinifex snowflake number 9. We're going to use the diamond side for this particular snowflake. So let's go ahead and get started here. There we go. And I've put it off to one side again, and you can see I've got my arrow here. Actually, if you want to make it much easier, go ahead and put an arrow on each side. That way, no matter what direction you're in, it's going to be super simple to figure out where you need to stop. So since I'm going in this direction, we're going to start over on this side. Here we go. Well, first thing I need to do is pick up my bobbin thread. Okay, there we go. And fingers aren't working really wonderful this morning, but that's okay. We'll get through it. I'm not concerned. Okay, there we go. Now I've got my arrows lined up. I've got my template lined up, and I am ready to go. Now, after I did this crosshair, I realized that the crosshair was right exactly on the seam allowance. But because my seams are so flat, I'm not overly concerned about that. It may get a little hairy in the center as we move along, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this thread. But we will survive it. We'll get through it. Okay. And back to center. Beautiful. Go ahead and turn it around so you can see. And you'll see here that I ended up doing part of my line with a dark colored pen and the other part with the white chalk liner because it's on dark fabric. Take a hesitation stitch at the left, hesitation stitch at the top, hesitation stitch at the right, and back to center. Okay, I'll go ahead and speed up the tape so that I won't bore you with going over and over and over again. Okay, so we've got this one finished. I'm going to go ahead and take the template off. We'll pull the bobbin thread up. I would just want to make sure I've got all of my rotations done, and I do. And pull that bobbin thread up. I made a few micro stitches here, so we should be good to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to make random snowflakes and circles, which will represent smaller snowflakes, all the way down the length of my pencil. And there it is. Isn't that pretty, guys? We just are really getting some beautiful snowflakes in here. And we could even, if you want, use a mini spin effects now and again too. Um, we're just going to keep going, and then what I'll do is I will come back and I will show you the finished pencil.